So often than not, I get a lot of students asking me about how universities actually select their candidates. How important UCAT is, how important interviews are, how important is the ATAR, any prerequisite subjects, do you have to do voluntary work, when do you have to apply, a lot of technical questions, right? So the reality is this, is that universities update their websites as they please. Okay, so this may be at the beginning of the year, this may be at the end of the year, this may be at a random evening, middle of the year. I don't really need to inform the public. As long as it's on the website, it's fine. But what that means is that information constantly changes. So as a responsible candidate, I think it's just important for you to verify everything that you hear. It's just a good general rule. And it's always better to be safer than sorry, which means it's important to actually get some feedback from the universities you're interested in. And a lot of people tend to just trust their friends, but recently, due to developments of, UCAT replacing UMAT, and every year, there have been improvements and changes to the medical selection process and dental selection process of various schools. There's been changes, and sometimes these changes mean a lot of difference in how you strategize and organize your time. So instead of me talking about every single one of these differences, what we've done already is that we've actually written this book. So this is the handbook for 2021-2022 entry. And what we've got here is a very updated list, okay, of all the specific conditions that every single medical and dental school is using in order to select candidates. And what we do periodically is that we actually update this list. So below this video, there is a link for you to download the latest version. But like I said, it's still important for you to verify this yourself. It might be between the updates, there happen to be some changes, and it happens to be those changes affect you the most. But anyway, it's just quickly looking at this book. This book contains not only conditions for entry, but also a lot of information about UCAT interviews. So feel free to have a look. The first 2 chapters are about those things. But if I was to flip all the way to page, let's have a quick look. All the way to page 32, right? It clearly states here entry requirements, right? And from here onwards, we've got pages that are committed to the most updated information about entry criteria for domestic students, okay? And it also includes a full list of all the medical and dental schools in every single state that currently offers a medical and dental program. And this is for direct entry, by the way. Furthermore, we go into the international student selection criteria. So if you're interested in that, feel free to have a look. It's very, very detailed. And furthermore, we actually go into subject prerequisites. So this is particularly important if you're in year 10 and 11, to make sure that if you want to go interstate, that you don't just consider the medical and dental schools in your state and expect the rest of them to be the same in terms of their subject prerequisites, because I can tell you right now, that's definitely not the case. And talking to parents and students, especially students, the high achieving students, sometimes they just wish they knew this list, because it was at that time where they maybe decided to not do chemistry just because they enjoyed, let's say, physics a little bit more. But they knew that with chemistry, they could have additional options to, let's say, 2 or 3 other medical schools. They would definitely have kept that. So a lot of regret, okay, for people if they don't do the research properly. So here it is anyway, as updated as possible for all the schools. And what we have here is a very, 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 very cool timeline. So it says on the top, key dates and application process. So it literally has all the dates outlined for every single one of those med and dent schools that we've just had a look at. So when you look at all this, it becomes very, very clear the kind of things you've got to plan for. And although there are a lot of differences in how medical school and dental schools look at candidates, they're still looking for the same type of candidate. The type of people that can be effective while working within the community, benefit them, put them at the core of their consultation, of their efforts, of their diagnosis, of their recommendations, to really help people out. So I definitely recommend you to download this book to get all these details in one place. It will save you a bunch of time. And it's more about you going from there and verifying the information, and then going ahead, committing to a strategy and a plan that you know will tick all the boxes, as many boxes as you need them to. All right, so feel free to download it and check every so often, maybe 3 months at a time, to see if there's a new version.